Our NBA scores from December 10th. The Indiana Pacers beat the Washington Wizards 109 to 101. Miles Turner for Indiana Pacers scored 26 points to lead the way, and Bogdanovic right behind him at 22. Dummer Dermott didn't really have a good game at all. He only scored 3 points, and Corey Joseph doesn't score at all. For the Washington Wizards, Bradley Beal scored 30 points, and Otto Porter Jr. does not score at all. The 76ers beat the Detroit Pistons 116 to 102. Jimmy Butler doesn't score because he left the game with a hamstring injury, so he doesn't score at all in the game and doesn't return. But Joel Embiid scored 24 points to lead that one. And Blake Griffin for the Pistons didn't score didn't score because they sat him out this game to rest him. And instead, in that game, Luke Kennard scored 28 points, but still wasn't enough to get Detroit to win. And Andre Drummond scores 21 points. So Joel Embiid scores 24 points, and Ben Simmons for the Philadelphia 76ers scores 18. Yep, for that one. The Boston Celtics beat the Pelicans. The New Orleans Pelicans 113 to 100, and Marcus Morris for the Celtics scores 31 points to lead that one. Now I feel kind of bad for the Pelicans on this part because Anthony Davis scored 41 points, and that wasn't enough to get his team to win. And E'Twaun Moore doesn't score in this game. I'm not sure what was going on with him or why they didn't play him. And then the Pelicans moved Nikola Mirotic back to the bench, where he finishes with only 3 points, while Wesley Johnson, Jahlil Okafor, and Ian Clark don't score at all. And like I said, Marcus Morris scores 31 points for the Celtics, while PJ Dozier doesn't score at all. The Bulls fucking embarrassed themselves, and not just themselves, but me, 108 to 89, in a loss against Sacramento Kings, and the Bulls for the second straight home game have been booed off the court because the fans are not happy with the way they're playing, and I'm not either. De'Aaron Fox for the Sacramento Kings scored 25 points to lead the way. The highest amount of points for one Bulls player today was 19 points, which was Zach LaVine. He scored 19, and then Larry Markkinen was the other one who finished with 13. Everybody else had 9 points or less, and that was it. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 108 to 92. Eric Bledsoe from Milwaukee scores 20 points to lead the way. And after Eric Bledsoe had 20 points, Brogdon with 18, Chris Middleton had 16, and Brook Lopez had 12, and so did Sterling Brown. Jason Smith, who just got traded to Milwaukee, Bucks plays his first game today, and he doesn't score at all. For the Cavaliers, the most points by one player in that team for today was Colin Sexton with 15 points. And then you had Jalen Jones, who only finished with one goddamn point. The Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Utah Jazz 122 to 113, and Paul George had 31 points in that game, so he was the leading scorer in that one. And Russell Westbrook had 22. and then Patrick Patterson, Nader, Alex Abrinas, and Burton don't score at all. So that's 4 players that don't score in that game. It's pretty pitiful. Donovan Mitchell for Utah Jazz scored 19 points, and he was the leading scorer on that team for today. I mean, in the aspect of scoring the most points, but and then Royce O'Neal doesn't score at all in the game for the Utah Jazz. The Dallas Mavericks beat the Orlando Magic 101-76. Um, and with the Dallas Mavericks getting this one, it was only their 14th of the year against 11 losses. That's 25 games into the season for them, or 27 games. Sorry, I know it is 20. Yeah, it is 25. Okay, no man. Harrison Barnes leads the way with for the Dallas Mavericks with 19 points, while Brunson well Brunson had 17 and Powell had 16. Mejri, I think it's how you say his name, and Brokoff don't score at all for the Mavericks. For the Orlando Magic, Jonathan Simmons scores 18 points, while Melvin Frazier Jr. doesn't score at all. The Denver Nuggets beat the Memphis Grizzlies 105-99, and Nikola Jokic for the New York for the Denver Nuggets scores 27 points to lead the way. And then after him would have been some guy named Morris. I'm not sure what the guy's first name is, but it starts with an M. 20 points, and then Tyler Lydon and Thomas Welsh don't score at all. For the Memphis Grizzlies, Mike Conley was the leading scorer with 19 points. And then you had Shelvin Mack, some guy named Jamichael or something like that, 13 points. Jamichael Green or whatever his name is, scored 13 points, and Omri Casper finished out with 12. Jakeem can't make a shot. Noah finished with 4 points, which is pretty embarrassing. He sucked anyway as a player with the Bulls, and he sucked with the New York Knicks, and he sucks with them. The Los Angeles Clippers beat the Phoenix Suns 123-119. The leading scorer in that game was Tobias Harris with 33, and Danilo Gallinari after him would have had 25. And then DeAndre Ayton for Phoenix Suns had 19 points to basically be the leading scorer on that team, even though Phoenix has the second worst record behind the Bulls, and Phoenix has 4 wins and 23 losses, and with the Bulls a fucking embarrassing loss today. That was their 22nd loss of the year against 6 wins. It's fucking pitiful. And the Golden State Warriors beat the Minnesota Timberwolves 116-108. Stephen Curry scores 38 points in that game. while Klay Thompson was second with 26. Karl Anthony Towns, for Minnesota Timberwolves, I think had 31 points, while Taj Gibson only finished out with 4. Not the best game that he's had, but I'm gonna go back to this one for a second. Let's see. It says Karl Anthony Towns had 31 points. Andrew Wiggins right behind. And it says Derrick Rose had 21, and Andrew Wiggins had 20. Taj Gibson only finished with 4 points, and Tyus Jones didn't score at all. For the Warriors, Stephen, like I said, had 38. Klay Thompson had 26, and Kevin Durant had 22. Draymond Green came back today, but he only finished with 7 points. Quinn Cook doesn't score at all, but Sean Livingston scored 2. Jordan Bell, I think the guy's name, scored 2, and Kevin Looney scored 2. Excuse me. And then the fucking arrogant Queen won, which she technically should have lost. But she beat the Miami Heat 108-105, and technically what's supposed to be Queen James and Dwayne Wade's last match against each other before Dwayne Wade retires, because Dwayne Wade had stated before the season started that he was going to retire at the season's end. Kuzma for the Lakers scored 33, while the Queen finished at 28. Fucking slacker. Somebody named Mykhailiuk, whatever the fuck kind of name that is, finished with 3 points. For the Miami Heat, Dwayne Wade scores 15 points off the bench, and I happen to notice he's been attempting a lot of threes lately. Of course, in this game he attempted 7 and missed all of them. James Johnson, fucking traitor, and Dwayne Wade also fucking traitor. Like I said, Dwayne Wade finished with 15 points. Justice Winslow scored the most points for Miami Heat, 28 points, and James Johnson doesn't score at all. He attempted 2 threes, missed them both, and he missed all 3 shots that he attempted. And that's about it. Yeah.